of us, but with 27 rifles, attacked the huge garrison of the Kabamba Military Training School with the aim of regaining some of the 9,000 rifles Fronasa had handed to the joint force created after the defeat of Idi Amin. This united force had been given the designation of the UNLA. That was the army which we created after the defeat of Idi Amin. Although the attack itself, by God's superior intervention, did not succeed, when a Tanzanian corporal, following Tumwine's pistol fire at the quarter guard, rushed into the underground armory and used an LMG to defend it against us, we collected about 40 rifles from the houses around, captured 8 lorries, were joined by some of our fighters, such as Chakabare Anthony, known as RPG also, successfully drove our fleet of vehicles through Kasambia, Nabingora, Chejegwa, Chenjojo, Kagadi, Isunga, Karuguza, Nkoko, Ntwetwe, Masode, and by 0 to 100 hours, saa 8 za usiku of the Europeans say 7th, but would say 6th of February, drove through Chiboga town and camped at Budimbo in Matovo's farm. With that partial success, the revolutionary forces in Uganda had, after due warnings to the other groups, established an alternative power center in Uganda. I say that the failure to capture the 1,000 rifles stored at Kabamba was God's intervention, because at that time, even if we had captured those guns, the government could have recaptured them from us, because we had not yet gathered the thousands of our soldiers that the UPC had deliberately scattered all over Uganda. Sare was in Karamoja, Ivan in Pakwach, Mugume Joram in Moroto, Mugume Chaga was in Jinja, Pecos in Nakasongora, etc. So were the militants scattered all over Uganda. It was therefore God's intervention that we were able to launch the challenge to the UPC, but not to be burdened with the 1,000 rifles that had no people to immediately carry them. Indeed, on the 9th of February, the government forces surprised our temporary camp at Kagobe, Kagurire's home, and recaptured some equipment, including my briefcase. In my briefcase, there was a document on which our new structure of the resistance army had been written. On the 7th of February, at Budimbo, after looking for food and eating, I assembled the fighters and organized them as follows. Section 1, Sam Magara, commander. Section 2, Eric Tumwine. Section 3, Hannington Mugabe. Section 4, Jack Mchunguzi. And a few individuals, initially under Kabura, constituted the bodyguard of the chairman of the High Command. That is yours and truly, Yoweri Museveni, the one who is speaking now. Each of the sections had 12 rifles. By the end of the 6th of February, 1981, we therefore had about 60 rifles compared to the 27 rifles we had started with in the morning. We had also picked a very good RPG-7B from Isunga police station near Kakumiro. When the UNLA, the government army that time, showed Mr. Obote and Mr. Paul Mwanga the parade state of our army, the PRA as we were calling it that time, they just laughed with contempt. They had forgotten the biology, which informs us that a healthy zygote, I hope you people you still remember biology. Zygote is a very young embryo, may end up as a giant human being. That small zygote you may see on the scan in the womb of a woman may end up with a giant human being. However, the zygote must be a healthy one. Because if the zygote is not healthy, it will abort or something will happen. But if it is a healthy one, it will grow. And the NRA was such a healthy one. That was the 6th of February, 1981. By the 6th of February, 1986, that is 5 years later, 11 days after the successful storming of Kampala, the 4 sections of the PRA of the 7th of February 1981 had grown as follows. 1st Battalion, Pecos Kutesa and Fred Mugisha. 3rd Battalion, Patrick Lumumba. 5th Battalion, Stephen Kashaka and Ahmed Kashiringi. 7th Battalion, Matai Charugonza and Stanley Mhanji. 9th Battalion, Julius Chanda. 11th Battalion, Chef Ali. 13th Battalion, Ivan Koreta. 15th Battalion, Samson Mande. 17th Battalion, Adam Waswa. 19th Battalion, Peter Kerim. 21 Battalion, Benon Tumkunde. Special Force, Jet Mwebazi. High Command Force, Akanga Vyarhanga. Each of these battalions had 1,500 rifles. Remember, we started with 27 rifles. But after 5 years, each of these battalions had 1,500 rifles, except 19th Battalion, which had 1,900 rifles. The mobile brigade under Salim Saleh was comprised of the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 13th, and 15th. The 11th and the 19th had been detached to the western axis under Tinyafuza, and the 21st Battalion under Benon Tumkunde was kept in reserve at Kasese to keep an eye on Mobutu Sese Seko, because we suspected Mobutu Sese Seko. This was now a force of about 20,000 rifles, plus numerous support arms, mortars, recoilless cannons, 14.5 millimeter, 37 millimeter, a few Strelers, etc. Eric Tumwine was the army commander, and Fred Rigema was the deputy army commander. Why such growth in such a short time? It was on account of the following reasons. Number one, people being desperately fed up with the brutality and non-accountability of the old armies, the colonial army, Uganda army, and the other one, UNLA. So you, UPDF, must be very careful. You must never adopt the habits of these old armies: brutality, corruption. If you do that, the people will hate you. And that's what had happened. The people hated those armies. Number two, UPC, that was the political party which had grabbed power, blocking the democratic process of genuine and constructive debate that we warned them about many times, but they never paid heed to our warnings. Number three, the collapse of the economy. Those who are old enough, remember there were no consumer goods, no wealth production. There was what they were calling magendo, smuggling, Chibanda, foreign currency black market, and Kusamra. Kusamra was speculation. But also, number four, the correct ideology of the NRM, comprised of the four principles of patriotism, love Uganda, don't concentrate on tribes and religious sectarianism. Uganda is more useful to us than the tribal groups or the religious sectarianism. Love Africa, Pan-Africanism, because we need Africa for prosperity, for a wider market, socio-economic transformation. We must have a new society. We must have modern Ugandans. We cannot have peasants producing other peasants. Omunyakyaro nasiga omunyakyaro ndijo obwensite kubasa kutunguka. And democracy. These were the four principles that we relied on. But also a correct strategy for military struggle and tactics of the NRA, PRA.
Iwe munywani wanje omugishangogo n'abesigwa Real Estates Limited abari kusanga muri Katete Kampala Mbarara aha Silver Plaza Building first floor oinde plot no jiguza ninga no yenda kugura no yenda famu ninga no yenda kikari manyaba nibo besigwa bonka omuri Mbarara Western yona ori Kampala ninga shojya heru n'abesigwa nibo bonka abari kuguza ikintu ekitari mumbeho yona ninga kikiba kweta ngo n'ecyamazimo ekyo rize gukora n'iki munywani wanje batera hasi mweze 056 nkaga nemwe nshanzu ni 5 ashatu nina ningashi 056 mushanzu 000 anana munana tested and trusted nabesgwa.